Hello guys, welcome to another math class. I know a lot of you have been asking me, when will the next class be released? Okay, here we go. So we are still under number and numeration. Last time we talked about number basis. If you have not watched that video, go to this channel, find that video, watch it. It is very, very important. It serves as a foundation to what you are going to do today. So we go on like that. After fractions, today we're talking about fractions, decimals, fractions basically. Then before we talk about decimals and approximation, and then we'll talk about percentages, we talk about profit and loss, talk about ratio. So I think the last one in this series should be either ratio or profit and loss. So, but irrespective, it is good that you follow us one as we go ahead, one after the other. Do not miss any video tutorial. Don't miss any of them. Let's go together. Let's solve questions together. Let's build our confidence towards this exam, and let's give them a marking scheme. All right. So if you're not too busy, we're going to begin immediately. So today we're talking about fractions. Quickly, fractions. So I'm doing fractions today. Remember that this video tutorial is brought to you by O3Schools JAMB app. O3Schools JAMB app. If you have not downloaded this app right now, go to Play Store now. Before, pause this video. In fact, this video will not be too much, but pause this video now. Go to Play Store, look for this app, O3Schools JAMB app, with a symbol of like 3, right? This. So look for this word app, download it, activate it, so that you can follow us in this class, because all the questions we are going to be solving, all the JAMB pass questions and likely questions we are going to be solving are going to be from this app. So the app is designed to give you the best performance in your exam. It has wonderful features that you can depend on. So please do not joke with your exam. Activation of this app is just 2,500 naira. Once you download the app, click on activate, go to buy activation key. Then you can use any of the available options to pay for your activation. Activate. In case maybe you are thinking this is fraud. After transfer, you can make a payment through transfer also. So after transferring, you can send your payment proof. You don't even need to call me. Just send your payment proof. Make your transfer. Send your payment proof to our customer care number 09121515246. So once you send your payment proof, we are going to ask you to send your product key. Your product key is on your app. So you copy the product key you send to us. We use it to generate your activation key for you, and your app will be fully open for you to practice. So there's nothing to fear. So because of time, so that I don't dwell on the app only, let's go to why we are here today. So a lot of us know what a fraction is. We have seen fractions before. So this topic is going to be very, very easy because every topic in maths is actually very easy. But what makes you not pass maths in JAMB? Small errors, common errors. That is why, as much as possible, when I make an error when I'm teaching you, I don't edit this out of the video. I want you to see that human beings are prone to errors. You can make mistakes, you can make errors, but the ability for you to find yourself, where did I make this error from, where did I make this mistake from, and then do the right thing is what is important. So that I can always get your right answer in JAMB. 1 mark in JAMB is very important. You miss one question, you have lost more than 1.5 marks. So you have to make sure that you get all your questions correctly. Now, fraction. A fraction is usually in the form A over what? A over B, where A is called the numerator and B is called what? The denominator. So a fraction is usually of the form A over B like this, where A is called the numerator of the fraction and B is called what? The denominator. So there are different types of fractions. From your primary school, your secondary school, you have been taught that they are what to call proper fractions. They are what? Improper fractions. And they are what? Mixed fractions. You know this already, that they are what? Proper fractions, improper fractions, and mixed fractions. What are proper fractions? Example, a proper fraction is a fraction that has the numerator smaller than the denominator. That means the denominator is bigger than the numerator in a proper fraction. Example is what? 2 over 7. This is a proper fraction. Example is what? 3 over what? Over 8. Example is what? 1 over what? 6. This is a proper fraction because a big person or a big number is carrying what? A smaller number. That's what makes the fraction proper. But for an improper fraction, the denominator is now smaller. It's smaller than the numerator. Let's see. That means a small number is carrying a big number, or a big number is sitting down on top of a small number. We call it what? Improper fraction. For example, when you now have 7 over 2, when you now have 8 over 3, when you now have 6 over 6 over 1 will give us a whole number. So let me just say 9 over what? 2. So these are what? Improper what? Fractions. When you wake up in the morning, you go to the parlor, you now saw that your 3-month-old baby is carrying your father. Will you not shout? It's improper. So these are the conditions of improper fraction. The numerators are what? Are bigger than the denominators. But for a mixed fraction has an whole number part and a proper fraction what part. A mixed fraction, what comprises a mixed fraction is an whole number or a whole number and what? And a proper plus a proper fraction. So that example of a mixed fraction will be equal to what? You can have a fraction like this: 3 whole number 1 over 3. So you're having 3 whole number 1 over 3. This is a proper fraction, and this is what? An whole number. Why this is a what? A proper fraction. So I'm not doing this so that you just get the basis. After this is speed I'm going to be running through. So what is important here is for you to learn how to convert a mixed fraction to an what? To an improper what? Fraction. That is the important thing to note here. How do you convert a mixed fraction to an improper fraction? It's very easy. I'm going to take just 2 examples and then we're going to fire on with questions. So now let's go. How do you convert from a mixed fraction to what? An improper fraction? So you have 3 whole number 1 over 3, for example. So to convert this to an improper fraction, you simply say what? The denominator of the fraction multiplied by the whole number. That is 3. This 3 times what? Times 3. Then you add the numerator, then plus 1. Then divide by the what? By the denominator, 3. You get so that 3 times 3 is 9. 9 plus 1 is what? 10 over what? Over 3. So this becomes what? An improper fraction, because a bigger number is carrying what? A smaller number. It's improper. And you cannot solve like this with a mixed fraction. You have to convert it first to an improper fraction before you can what? Use it to what? To solve in calculations. So let's take another example. Let's say we have a fraction like this: 7 whole number 1 over 2. Want to use it to solve. So converting it to what? An improper fraction. What do? You simply say what? 2 times what now? 7. Then plus 1 over what? Over 2. 2 times 7 is 14. 14 plus 1 is 15. 15 over 2. So this is already what? An improper fraction, and then we can use them to what? To solve in what? In calculations. So that is just, by the way, just an introduction to the topic. Now, an important thing to note is that we can do addition, we can do subtraction, we can do multiplication, we can do division of what? Of fractions. We're not going to be doing them one after the other, right? Because I want to believe that you already know that. It is beyond the scope of this class. All right. So now, but when you want to perform more than one operation in a single word question, then you need to introduce what we call what? BODMAS. BODMAS, where B stands for what? Bracket. O is what? Of. D is what? Division. M is what? Multiplication. A is what? Addition. And S is what? Subtraction. So whenever you are having more than one sign in what? In this question, you have to what? Introduce what? BODMAS. That means you need to solve the one that has bracket first, then go to the one off. Eventually means what? Multiplication. D is division. M is multiplication. A is addition. Before you do subtraction. But if you see addition and subtraction, you can do them together. You get? If you see division and multiplication, you can take them together. But there's no way that you go and do addition before division, or do what subtraction before what multiplication. We're going to see how to apply all this as we go on. So let's take the first question. So from our O3Schools JAMB app, this is a 2003 question number 4. So your app is very important. Please download and activate now. As pause this video now, download it and activate it now. It's very important. All right, so 2003 number 4, it says that what? That simplify 1 minus 2 o number 1 over 3 times 1 o number 1 over 4 plus 3 over 5. So now we are seeing what mixed fractions here. You are seeing a bracket. So you are seeing 3 operation, minus, multiplication, and what? Sorry, subtraction, multiplication, and what? Addition in a single operation. So we have to what? Use what? Our BODMAS. So our BODMAS by the side says that what we should solve first of all, solve what? This bracket first. We should solve the bracket first. So let's go. So I have 1 minus into bracket. So convert this one to improper fraction. 3 times 2, 6. 6 plus 1, 7 over 3. Then plus what? 4 times 1, 4. 4 plus 1, 5. 5 over what? 4. Is it times? It's time. You see, I've already turned it to plus now. So it's multiplication there. So you have to be very careful. Then plus what? 3 over 5. So I'm going to have 1 minus, you have to be careful. 7 times 5, 35. 3 times 4, 12. Then plus what? 3 over 5. It's as simple. Since you're having addition and subtraction, look at only addition, subtraction, and addition here. We cannot take all of them together. So we can simply remove this bracket now because we are done with it. Then we'll make this one over 1. Make this fraction over 1 and what? And then find the LCM. LCM between 12 and 5 is what? Is 60. 60 divided by 1 is what? 60. 60 times 1 is what? 60. Then minus 60 divided by 12 is what? Is 5. 5 times 35. If you don't know, it's press the calculator. Don't go and do I too know. 35 times what? Times 5. 5 times 5 is 25. Rather than 5 carry 2. 5 times 3 is 15. 15 plus 2 is what? 17. So minus 175. Then plus 60 divided by 5 is what? 12. 12 times 3 is what? 36. So you now what? Go ahead and say, so you add. So you're having what? 60. This is plus here. Remember this addition here. This is plus here. This is what? Plus here. So you add all these two together and subtract this. 60 plus 36 is what? Is 96. So I'm going to have minus 175 minus what? 96 over what? Over 60. So no. Minus 175. This is plus now, right? 60 plus 36 is what? 96. So minus 175 plus what? Plus 96. You see, our sign will just throw me off balance right now. So look at it. We're adding these two together. 60 plus 36 is what? Is 95. Is 96. 60 plus 36 is 96. Then minus 175. So that is saying 96 minus 175 or minus 175 plus 96 is the same thing. So now what do we do? You know, the simple way to do this sign usually confuses students. It's very easy also. The best way to see this is that anytime you see minus, know that you are owing somebody money. So the way to interpret this one, and you are saying that I'm owing somebody 175 naira. Then plus means what? I have money. That means money comes to you. So and whenever that money comes to you, you want to pay your debt. So you are owing 175 naira, but you have 96 naira. How much will you still be owing the person? That's the question you put in your heart. You say yes, right? Since you are still going to be owing, because you are owing 175 naira, you only have 96 naira to pay. You see, after you pay, you still be owing. So you subtract 175 minus what? Minus 96. So you borrow 1 from here, that becomes 6. Then you add 1 here, becomes 15. 15 minus 6 is what? It's 9, isn't it? Then 6 minus 9 cannot. 16 minus 9 is what? Is 7. So I'm going to have what? 79 over what? Over 60. Minus 79 over 60, because you are still going to be what? Owing. So how many times this already what? And this is an improper fraction. Check your options. If your option is like this, then you can pick an option like this. But if your option does not leave it in improper fraction, look how to convert it to what? To a mixed fraction. All right, so let's see the options here. The options here, A is what is A? A is minus 2 o number 7 over 15. B is minus 1 whole number 1 over 5. C is minus 2 whole number 31 over 60. D is minus 1 whole number 19 over 60. So you see that what they were all converted to mixed fraction. So you have to convert your own to mixed fraction also. So how many times can 60 go into 79? Once. Over 1 whole number, what will be left? 19 over what? Over 60. Minus is here. What option is that? Option what? G. So and you can see the question by the side of this video from the app. So get your app, it's very important. The explanation to this is on the app also. But after we have solved this, make sure you go by your own self, solve it again, get the answer. I'm going to move to another question because of time. we have other things to take care of, so we have to be conscious of time so that the video doesn't become boring. Now let's see another question. This is O3Schools JAMB about 2005 question 3. So they say we should simplify 3 whole number 1 over 2 minus into bracket 2 whole number 1 over 3. Sorry, is it times? Sorry, times 1 whole number 1 over 4, then plus what? 3 over 5. So from the O3Schools JAMB 2005 number 3, let's find this. So this is what? A bracket. From BODMAS, we must take care of bracket first. Bracket first. But first of all, we can convert all of them to what? To improper fractions. This one is mixed, this is mixed, this is mixed, this is proper. So we can leave this one, we can convert all these ones. Converting this will be what? 7 over 2 minus into bracket 3 times 2, 6. 6 plus 1, 7 over 3 times 5 over 4. Then plus what? 3 over 5. Right? So we do that. So I go to 7 over 2 minus into bracket 7 times 5 is 35 over what? 3 times 4 is what? Is 12. Then plus what? 3 over 5. It's simple. Since we only have two signs, addition and subtraction, we can remove this bracket and what? And solve all of them together. What is the LCM of 2, 12, and 5? Is 60. That is why it is good to solve past questions. You see, we have encountered something like this before. Just that they just tweaked it a little from the first one. They just tweaked, just a little tweak. I think the first one was 1 minus what's here and what plus this. But in the next year, 2005, they now said what? 3.5 minus. You must solve questions so that you understand how JAMB will not set what to stress you, because time, there's not much time. You don't have 10 hours to solve only maths. So they give you question that you are going to solve, that you can solve with the amount of time you are given. You must solve questions. If you want to pass JAMB, you must solve questions, you must attack questions. So now, LCM is 60. 60 divided by 2 is what? Is 30. 30 times 7 is what? 210. 60 divided by 2, 30. 30 times 7, 210. Minus 60 divided by 12 is 5. 5 times 35, 175. Then plus 60 divided by 5, 12. 12 times 3 is what? Is 36. So if you add this together, this is plus, so you add them together. 210 plus 236 is what? 246, right? Then minus 175 over what? Over 60. What is 246 minus 175? If you don't know, press your calculator. 175. So 6 minus 5, 1. 4 minus 7 cannot. Borrow 1, right? You are subtracting, then you add on. 14 minus 7 is what? Is 7. So I'm going to have 71 over what? Over 60. How many times can 60 go into 71? You're going to have 1 whole number 11 over what? Over 60. What is the option there? Option A is 2 whole number 11 over 60. B is 2 whole number 1 over 60. C is 1 whole number 11 over 60. D is 1 whole number 1 over 60. Our option here is what? Option C. So you have to what? Solve with what? With care. Solve with care and what? Be accurate in your what? Be precise. You have to have what? Very high precision. If I'm done with this, let's go to another question. Let's go to another question quickly. All right, so still from the app, 2006, question 17. 2006, questions 17. So they say we should simplify 7 over 9 minus 2 over 3 then divided by 1/3 plus 2/5 divided by 4/5. All right, so we're having two brackets here, right? And you can see everything here is proper. All the fractions here are already proper or improper as the case may be. So you don't need to convert anything. So now the only thing to do is to solve that. You can solve this bracket first before you come to this bracket. It does not matter. The BODMAS rule say we should do bracket first. So we can take any of the bracket that we deem fit. Now let's go. LCM between 3 and 9 is what? Is 9. 9 divided by 9 is what? 1. 1 times 7 is 7. Minus 9 divided by 3 is 3. 3 times 2 is what? 6. Bracket divided by, now here is that one plus. Okay, it's plus. So I'm going to have, you cannot do addition first before division. Inside this bracket now you can see there are two symbols, addition and what? Division. But you cannot do addition first before division. You must do division first. So I'm going to have 1/3 plus, inside this bracket now you also have what? Another bracket inside. You get another smaller bracket inside. I say 2/5. Then if you are dividing, you know the rule of division now. If you want to turn it to multiplication, you invert what? This one. So if I change this one to multiplication, I'm going to have, instead of 4/5, I'm going to have what? 5/4. Then you close your bracket. So 7 minus 6 is what? 1/9 divided by, into bracket, 1/3 plus 2 here 1, 2 here is 2. 5 here 1, 5 here is what? Is 1, right? So plus what? 1/2. So what is LCM between 3 and 2? 6. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Then plus what? 6 divided by 2 is what? Is 3. Inside small bracket. So I have 1/9 divided by what? That. So 1/9 divided by 2 plus 3 is 5 over what? Over 6. We're having division here. You know the rule of division, right? Whenever we are having what? Division sign, we invert what? This one, the next fraction. So I have 1/9 times 6 over what? 5. How many times can 3 go here? 2. 3 can go here 3 times. So I'm going to have 1 times 2, 2 over 3 times 5 is what? 15. 15. Our options here, A is what? 11/12. B is 5/6. Or from your app, you show this on the screen there. Our option is what? Option what? Option D, which is what? 2/15. That's why we are stressing that you should get your app. All right, now let's go to another question quickly. We have solved 3 questions now. I've solved 3 questions. Because of time, we may need to take the others as assignments. Let's take others as assignments. But let's take one more question from the app. Then you can look from the app. Go to question search. Search for questions under. Just type fractions, mathematics fractions. You see all the questions that are come down under fraction. Or you can look for simplify. Those are the way math question comes under fraction. Simplify. Simplify the fraction. And so on and so forth. So let's take one more question. This is 2007, question number 32. They said what? Simplify 3/5 divided by 2/7 times 4/3 divided by 4/9. So remember here, we have to start with our bracket. So I have 3/5 divided by, into bracket, 2/7 times 4/3. If we're turning this one, this is division, we're turning this one to multiply, this sign to multiplication, we reverse this one, 9/4. So now 3 here 1, 3 here 3, 4 here 1, 4 here 1. Isn't it? Is there anything that can go again? No. So I'm going to have 3/5 divided by, our options here they're showing on the screen already. So I'm going to have 2/7, then times what? 1 times 3 is 3 over what? Over 1, right? So I have 3/5, then divided by, into bracket, 2 times 3 is 6 over what? Over 7. All right, so we can now remove this and solve. 3/5 times what? 7/6. 3 here 1, 3 here 2. So 7 times 1 is what? 7. 5 times 2 is what? Is 10. That is option what? Option B. Excuse me. So we are able to what? To get what? Our option correctly. It's easy. They are easy. You just need to be what? Very, very, very patient with yourself. Then as you practice more questions, you discover that what? You have more speed. Let's take some assignment, please. Please, as you are right, as anytime I drop assignments here, do not joke with them. Do not joke with them. Please solve them. Solve them. They are likely questions. They are likely questions. So assignment number one. Number one, simplify 1 over 2 divided by 2 divided by 1 over 4 of 32. Right? Okay. So our options, there's no need for the options. B, number 2, simplify 3 over 1 over 3 minus 1 over 1 over 4 times 2 over 3 plus 1 over 2 over 5. Then number 3, please take this. 1 over 10 times 2 over 3, then plus 1 over 4, all over 1 over 2 divided by 3 over 5 minus 1 over 4. Number 4. Okay, I think that is the last question for the assignment. Please attend to this question. Solve them. They are very easy. If there's anyone that gave you headache, can message us on WhatsApp 091-2151-5246. I'm not afraid to answer your questions. So please, as you activate your app and you practice, make sure you do your assignment. Now let's go to another part of this fraction: special cases of BODMAS. Special cases of BODMAS. Let's see some special cases of BODMAS. So special cases of BODMAS, we have 1986 question 5. They say find the reciprocal of 2 over 3 all over 1 over 2 plus 1 over 3. Our options: A is 4 over 5, B is 5 over 4, C is 2 over 5, D is what? 6 over 7. So they say we should find the reciprocal of what? 2 over 3 all over 1 over 2 plus 1 over 3. So of course we can solve this denominator first, right? So let's take this denominator first and solve. Solution. So 1 over 2 plus what? 1 over 3. So LCM is 6. So you have 3 plus what? 2, isn't it? Which is what? 5 over 6. So we have known our denominator to be 5 over 6. So we now bring the numerator together with it. Now we're going to have 2 over 3 divided by what? 5 over 6. Remember this division, this is what division sign. So if I change this one to multiplication, I'm going to have 2 over 3 times what? 6 over 5. 3 here 1, 3 here 2. 2 times 2 is what? Is 4 over 5. Our answer is what? A. You are wrong. If you say your answer is A here, you are what? You are very, very wrong. This is a special case of what BODMAS. They say find the reciprocal. We're told to find the reciprocal. Reciprocal is the result when a number, when a fraction is what? Is inverted. Reciprocal is the result when a what? Fraction is what? Is inverted. So our answer now, we need to invert this. So instead of 4 over 5 now, I'm going to have what? Reciprocal of 4 over 5 is equal to what? 5 over 4. And then our answer will be option what? Option B. You get? So you have to be very careful. You have to read. As much as you want to be fast in getting your answer, do not be fast in doing the wrong thing. So now let's take another question. Another special case of BODMAS. Let's take another question. Where is that question? All right, because of time. 1985 question 6. They said that 1 over 2 plus 1 over 1 over 2 plus 1 over 2 minus 4 plus 1 over 5. Our option A is minus 3 over 4. B is minus 1 over 3. C is 169 over 190. D is 13 over 15. And E is 1 over 21 over 169. So this is a what? This is a question on fraction. Oh. A very simple question at that. So now whenever we see something like this, it's very easy. Do not be scared. What are all these developing fractions? Right? So sorry, this is supposed to this is 1/2. This plus is here. This plus is here. You see where it is. So it's not like this plus this. So that you do not go and do the wrong thing. All right, so it's very easy to do. Let me divide it into two so that we can have space to complete it in one board. All right, now let's attack it. Whenever I see something like this, we start from what? From the end. So we start with 4 plus 1/5. So to do 4 plus 1/5, right? LCM is here is 5. 5 divided by 1 is 5. 5 times 4 is 20. Plus 5 divided by 5 is 1. 1 times 1 is what? 1. 21/5. So that means we're now having what? 2 minus 1 over what? 21/5. You get it, right? This is 21/5. 1/8. This is 1/21/5. So I'm going to have 2 minus what now? 5/21. This is reciprocal. So 5/21. You solve this. So LCM is what? Is 21. 21 divided by 1 is 21. 21 times 2 is what? 42 minus 21 divided by 21 times 21 divided by 21 is 1. 1 times 5 is 5. So I'm going to have 37 over what? Over 21. So that's what we're having here. This whole part, 2 minus 1/4. Okay, let me clean this. It's like we can have more space to solve. All right, so we have 37/21 for this whole place. So that means I'm going to have 2 plus 1 over what now? Everything here is what? 37/21. So again, this is reciprocal. We invert this. So I'm going to have 2/1 plus what? 21/37. LCM is 37. 37 divided by 1 is 37. 37 times 2 is 74. Then plus 37 divided by 37 is 1. 1 times 21 is 21. So if we do this, I'm going to have what? 4 plus 1 is what? Is 5. 7 plus 2 is what? Is 95 over what? Over 37. All right. Are we together? Then that means I've gotten this part. 2 plus 1 over this is this. 95 over what? Over 37. So we'll now go to the top part. I'm having 1/2 plus what? 1 over what? Everything here is what? 95/37. So we invert this one again. When we invert, I'm going to have 1/2, then plus what now? 37/95. So LCM is what? 2 times 95 is what? What are you having? 95 times 2. Press your calculator. I wanted to do get just now. I don't want to do it again. I want to check my calculator. So I think it's 190. 2 times 5 is what? Is 10. 0 carry 1. 2 times 9, 18. 18 plus 1, 19. So 190. 190 divided by 2 is what? Is 95. Then plus 190 divided by 95 is what? 2. 2 times 37 is what? 74. So I'm going to have 95 plus 74. 95 plus 74 is 9. 9 plus 7 is what? 16. So I'm going to have 169 over what? 190. Our option is option what? Option C. So it's very, very easy. Try it by yourself. Watch it and then try it yourself. Write the question out, try it yourself. You see that it's very, very, very easy. All right, so we are seeing another special case of BODMAS. I'm going to give you another example, and then we'll go to word problems on fractions, and then we'll call it a day on fractions. We'll call it a day on fractions. So please, if I have cleaned it, go take the video back and what? And check it again and copy out if you want to copy out. All right, please follow our tutorial classes on all subjects. We have dropped physics class the other day. We keep on uploading more videos. Chemistry is there. Also the government, commerce, economics, everything will be dropped on this channel. So please subscribe to this channel. You see that red subscribe button there, click on it. Give this video a like button. Click the like button, please, so that it will help what our video to go far. And then share to your friends and family. Don't be wicked. Share. You have found a channel that is helping you. Yeah. So please, you share. Please share to your friends and family. Share to them. Go to your JAMB, if you are attending JAMB classes, share to them too. Share to everybody that needs for JAMB help, and God bless you. Now let's see assignment number 2. Assignment number 2. Let's do this on our own. Simplify 1 plus 2 over 3 minus 4 over 5 plus 6 over 7. It's very easy. So our option here, option A, is 177 over 1 over 95. Our B is 3 over 10. Our C is 233 over 151. Our D is 7 over 95. Then our E is 17 over 10. So after we are done with all our topics, we're now going to do revision class. That revision class is the climax that will divulge a lot of what question for us that we think, that we know that may come out this year. All right, now let's go to word problem. That's your assignment. Please make sure what you attempt it. If you are not getting something clear, you can send a message to me personally. All right, let's go. Now let's go to word problems on fractions. So what really matters in word problem is that we're able to interpret a sentence and convert it to fraction and solve to get our answer. Okay, let's now see the word problems on fraction. So this is one question, 2005 question 6 from the O3Schools JAMB. They said 3 boys share some oranges. The first received 1 over 3 of the oranges. The second received 2 over 3 of the remainder. If the third boy received 12 oranges, how many oranges did they share? Let the total number. First thing you need to know is make what a representation for the total number of oranges. So you can say let the total number of oranges be what? Be x. Isn't it? Because we do not know the total number of oranges. So we're representing it with x now. Now they say the first boy received 1 over 3 of the oranges. First boy, 1 over 3 of what? The oranges. Total number of oranges is what? Is x. So of means multiplication. That is 1 over 3 times what? Times x, which is what? 1 over 3x or x over 3. Now, second boy, they say receive 2 over 3 of the remainder. Now, we need to know what? That the total fraction is 1. Total fraction is what? 1. You need to know that. Total fraction is what? Is 1. There's no proper fraction that is greater than 1. You get me? So, total fraction is what? Is 1. So, if what? The first boy has taken 1 over 3. That means the remainder, before we talk about the first boy, we need to find what? The remainder. What is the remainder? The remainder will be what? Remainder will be equal to what? 1 minus what? 1 over what? Over 3. X, isn't it? So we can make this what? A fraction too. 1 over 1 minus what? 1 over 3x. LCM is 3. 3 divided by 1 is what? 3. 3 times 1 is 3 minus 3 divided by 3 is 1. 1 times 1 is what? 1. Which is what? 2 over what? 3x. You get it now, right? So now this is the remainder. They now said, and the second boy received 2 over 3 of the remainder. If the second boy now, is now receiving what? 2 over 3 of the remainder is what? 2 over 3x. So of again means what? Multiplication. So if you do that, I'm going to have 2 over 3 times what? 2 over 3x. 2 times 2 is what? Is 4. 3 times 3 is what? Is 9 what? X. You get? So this is what? The share of the second boy. Now they said if the third boy received the remaining 12 oranges, how many oranges did they share? So that means what the first boy took plus what the second boy took plus what the third boy took. Third boy is what? 12 oranges. Right? So this plus this plus this is what gives what this x. So we will now be looking for what? For x. So now let's say since we have known what all the boys took, then we can now find what? X. So 1 over 3x plus what? 4 over what? 9x plus what? Plus 12 is equal to what now? X. Because of the total number of what? Of oranges. So we need to just simplify this fraction and we'll get our result. So then let's go. I'm going to have LCM between 3 and 9 is what? Is 9. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 3 times 1 is 3x. Then plus 9 divided by 9 is 1. 1 times 4 is what? Is 4x. plus 9 divided by 1 is what? 9 divided by 1 is 9. 9 times 12 is what? 108, which equals to what now? X. So if we cross multiply there, let's come somewhere where we can easily just finish up. So if we cross multiply, there, we're going to have what? 9 times x, or let us bring this one. 3x plus 4x is what? Is 7x. 7x plus 108 over what? Over 9 is equals to x. So you can now cross multiply. So that what? 9 times x is what? 9x is equals to what now? 7x plus 108. So you collect like terms now. Collect like terms, right? So x will come to where x is. So 9x, since here is plus, if it's crossing the sign of equality, it turns to what? Minus. 7x is equals to what? 108. So then 9x minus 7x is what? 2x is equals to what? 108. So let's bring this here now and finish up, right? All together. So divided both sides by what? By 2. 2x over 2 is 108 over 2. 2 will cancel 2 and x will be equals to what? 54 oranges. That means the total number of oranges that they shared was what? Was 54. You can see the correct option there. Now let's go to the last question before we call it a day on this topic. It's also a word problem question from the O3Schools JAMB app, 2017 number 39. 2017 number 39. So I'm not going to write the question because I'm displaying it right now on the screen for you to see. All right. So let's go. 2017 number 39. It said, a pack of biscuits was shared among 3 boys. 2017 number 39. A pack of biscuits was shared among 3 boys. If the first boy received 3 over 8 of the biscuits, second boy 4 over 5 of the remainder, and the third boy 5 biscuits, how many biscuits were shared? Just for, like from the former example. You see the way JAMB said question, almost the same pattern. If you understand their pattern, you cannot fail JAMB. Get your app, activate it, practice very well. You see that there will just be some little, some things will be repeated exactly, some will just be a little tweak, a little change of fractions or numbers there. So now let's go. We can now say let the total number of biscuits be what? Be x. Be x. So they say the first boy took what? 3 over 8 of what? Of the biscuit. 3 over 8 of s. That will give us what? 3 over what? 8 x, isn't it? We can also, I don't want to be doing times this time. We have done it in the first one. So they said what? Second boy 4 over 5 of the remainder. That means 4 can find what the second boy took. We need to find the remainder here. So remainder because of 1 minus what? 3 over 8. Right? So we can make this 1 over 1 x. So LCM is 8. 8 minus 8 divided by 8 is 1. 1 times 3 is 3x. So I'm going to have what? 5 over 8 was x. So to find the share of the second boy now, we have to multiply what it to. They say if the second boy received 4 over 5, 4 over 5 of this will be the second boy's was share. So second boy, because what? 4 over 5 times 5 over 8x. 5 will cancel 5. 4 here 1, 4 here is 2, which was 1 over 2 what? X. Now third boy took 5 biscuits. Third boy 5 biscuits, and then we were told that we should what? Find how many biscuits was shared. Just like on the first example, this first share plus this second share plus this third share will be equal to what? X, and we can find our x. So we're going to say 3 over 8 plus 1 over 2 x plus 5 is equal to what? X. Make this over 1. You can find your LCM. LCM between 8 and 2 is 8. So I'm going to have 3x plus 8 divided by 2, 4. 4 times 1 is 4x. Then plus what? 40 is equal to what? X. So 3x plus 4x is what? 7x plus 40 over 8 is equal to x. Sorry, this marker is failing. Let me change. All right. So if I've seen that, then we can cross multiply, right? So if we cross multiply here, we're going to have 8x is equals to 7x plus 40, right? So we can now collect like terms. Collect like terms. 8x minus 7x is equal to 40. 8x minus 7x is what? Is s. So s is equal to what? 40. What's our option there? You can see our correct option is option A. So please take your studies very seriously. Our next class, we are going to discuss approximations, and I'm going to talk about significant places and decimal places. Please stay glued to our channel, subscribe to this channel, subscribe so that you can get instant notification once we release another new video. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you in the next class.